Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. This is a daily close for Bitcoin to see what happened, what it might happen next. So on the intraday video, we said, of course, we are in an impulse toward the upside here, but of course we need a wave 5. And this is exactly what we got. However, this wave 5 was kind of like a truncated, but still looking like 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Of course, we need this wave 5 to count an impulse toward the upside. Otherwise, it might be, of course, a WX and a Y, where you have here a W, X, and a Y, because you have zigzags, of course. In between, there is an X, and therefore we got something, of course, corrective here after an A, B, and a C expanding flat, but very deep expanding flat. However, the invalidation was not taken, so still, of course, a valid impulse, having a very deep correction and also truncation. So we have to be careful with those signals, guys, like very deep correction, truncation, not taking the high, despite that it is, of course, finished as 5 waves, and it might still, of course, looking as a wave 1 here. Yeah, I consider that you, of course, be careful with it and to be watched, of course, what the next price action it might be here. So currently, if this is a finished wave 1 right now, I'm looking after a wave 2, right? And before moving for a wave 2 anyway, I would like even to check this wave 5 much more closer on the 5-minute if it is 100% finished here, because I'm wondering maybe this is also a correction for a 4-5 to finish a wave 5. But let me check. Of course, we have 1, 2 here. We have 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, you have already like a diagonal. Yes, so it is a finished 5, definitely. So basically, we are looking for a wave 2, of course. In this case, wave 2 might be the following price. So I think that, yeah, we might still move for lower. You need the 0.38 in case we are continuing impulsively here toward the upside. So I believe the 0.38 might be taken as an ABC 3 waves, right? And then I would like to see simply continuation for higher. In this case scenario, on the 1-hour chart, what is the potential scenario that we are working on here? So, as we mentioned in the daily analysis, in this area we have a wave 2, which is very shallow, in case this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 1, okay? In this case scenario, you got a wave 2, very shallow in time, not reaching the perfect time for a wave 2, and also the fib level was not reached on the logarithmic and linear chart. And that means, of course, the possibility here goes higher for a wave B. Okay, this wave B that it might be here, looking for a wave C, of course, as a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 towards the upside. Now, currently, you got an impulse here, potentially. It can be, of course, ABC as well, but it looks much higher possibility here as an impulse, and followed by kind of like a wave 2. However, in this area where we are looking here at this range, it's hard to call here like a 1, 2, and this wave 2 is ranging, right? So basically, we are looking at something also a little bit weird here. It might be, of course, we mentioned that it might be a triangle here that we are looking at, where you might be in an A, B, C, D, and an E, and then moving toward the upside for a wave C. And that means this wave B might be a triangle here. And what we are looking at here is the 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, simply continuation toward the upside. In this case scenario, I would say, of course, we can remove those fib levels for the other scenarios, because basically this one is unfolding right now until, of course, we break it back again. So I would say right now the target is still, of course, the same here. I would say 116 can be, of course, this target, since you start an A, B, C, D, and an E here. Can be a triangle, definitely, and then moving toward the upside, continue for or towards the 116K. Currently, based on this price action, this is the highest possibility. Okay. Now, as alternative scenario, if you remember, if we are still in an alternative scenario, which is, of course, a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 1, And this is still your wave 2. This one is still on the run. So meaning right now, if we invalidate this impulse toward the upside 1, 2, and we take the low, okay, so this is an old invalidation, so let's add the new key level. By simply invalidation of this triangle, meaning lower prices, okay, very simple. If we invalidate this triangle and we take the low, it means, of course, lower prices, and it might be moving toward the wave 2, 0.38, 105K, 700, guys. And this is, of course, the last possibility for the bullish scenario here. Of course, it can be a very deep wave 2, but I doubt it, okay, based on this ABC and the time already taken. We might just get this level and moving toward the upside, of course, wave C. Now, if you are much more bullish and you would like to see a bull run, it is preferably, of course, to have this wave 2 and then 3, 4, 5. If you are still like just looking after an uptrend, simple uptrend toward the upside, yeah, this might be your target 116, finishing an A, B, and a C. And then after all, this is gonna turn into a expanding flat wave V. So we're gonna have here 3 waves down for a wave A, 3 waves up for a wave B, and then moving, of course, further down for a wave C. And I mentioned this today in the daily analysis. If you are interested, you can find it also in the daily analysis, where you can find, of course, all the possibilities on the daily as well. We might have a small expanding flat, of course, in this case. So let's watch and see if we get, of course, higher prices here on the 15-minute chart, and we see continuation toward the upside. This wave C 116K might unfold. If we move continuously toward the downside, we take the 886 and the low, definitely we're heading towards the 105K for a wave 2. That was it for Bitcoin. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.